Welcome back, guys, to another fantastic episode of Vegas Views. Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner, absolutely nomads. Danny, how was your week?
This week was crazy, Don. It was crazy, especially on TikTok. It was crazy. You know me, I got to post every day. When you're a content creator, you got to do like 4 or 5 videos a day.
Yeah.
When you're first starting, before you get big, you got to do 10. So every day I wake up and I got to get these videos, but it was a weird week for me on TikTok.
Okay.
Very weird, because my views were down. Which my views are, I mean, usually, even if I do a crappy video, it gets to 8,000, 10,000. My videos are staying like 2,000, 3,000. I thought, what is going on?
So odd for you.
Yeah, it was odd, right? But then I went on, and all the other content creators were saying the views were down this week.
Okay.
Who knows why? I don't know why.
Something with the algorithm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's really weird. And people, actually, my girlfriend tells me this to have patience, because if one of my videos don't go, I delete them. I don't like people coming to my profile and seeing a video that doesn't have a lot of views. It's weird with me, okay? So I'll delete them, and she's always telling me, don't, because you never know if they're going to go.
Right, they might hit.
Yeah, so it's really weird. I do a case out, and the reason I'm bringing this all up, I wanted to tell you about a case out of Ireland that I was handling. It's called Noah Donahue. Did you ever hear this case?
I haven't heard of it.
All right, I'll explain it to you. But anyway, I've done like 3 videos on his case, okay? It's the John...
Oh, yes!
It's the John Benet Ramsey. Yes.
Is this the bike kid?
Yes.
Yes, I watched a couple of videos on this, and then I actually did some research. Boggled.
Yeah.
Completely boggled.
It's the John Benet Ramsey case of Ireland. Okay. Honestly, I mean, the people in Ireland, and I have a huge Ireland following.
Yeah.
This case is just like the John Benet Ramsey case.
Wow.
So when I do a video on this, my one video almost went to 500,000, and another one went to 200,000. So this video all of a sudden it's at 2,000. I'm like, what?
Danny, can you tell our audience, because this is a really interesting case. This one is like, can you kind of start from the beginning now? What I know of it, this kid left his home on a bike with clothing on.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened was, and listen, we don't know the whole Ireland thing, but there's still like wars going on between Protestants and Catholics out there, right? And that's what they think happened to this kid. I'm just telling you from my followers from Ireland, they're telling me that they believe this kid was murdered. They totally believe this kid was murdered.
For a religious war.
For a religious thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what they say. But anyway, he was 16 years old. He wanted to go meet his friends at a park. Okay. So he tells his mom, hey, I'm going to go. I think it was, and don't quote me on the time, but I think it was like, say, 5:30 when he left the house, 5:30 p.m. Gets on his bike. He has his backpack on him, right? Tells his mom goodbye. He's going to go meet his friends. And it would have been like a 5-minute ride. Well, of course, everybody has cameras now, so there's cameras all over the street. So the cameras catch him riding his bike, and he falls off his bike. Okay. It wasn't like a severe fall, but he fell off his bike. Somebody came to help him on, but he got back on his bike and took off. The next camera that catches him, he's driving his bike with no clothes on. And he has no backpack. He's a 16, there's nothing on. He's nude for some reason within the next camera frame. And then,
okay, so can I stop you right there? And I don't know about our studio audience, but for myself, the first thing I think
is his head.
Is he hit his head. If that was just not an option and his stuff is gone, like he got robbed, would you think that someone took his clothing? And I don't know, is that a thing in Ireland? Like how
I have no
certain
idea.
Streets and major cities here in the United States, people get robbed for their sneakers and jackets all the time in the winter, right? So would that be possibly something there? We don't know yet.
We don't know.
Okay.
And then the cops are saying this was, he hit his head and it was all an accident. This whole thing was an accident. There is no suspicion in this death. The cops.
That is absolutely insane, because there's everything suspicious about.
So then they see him. Next thing they know, their next camera catches him. He's nude again. He drops his bike, no backpack, walks towards this park.
And you can see this on the camera.
You can see this on camera.
He drops the bike now,
walks away into this park. 6 days or 5 days later, they find him in a storage drain dead. He's found dead in a storm drain. Dead.
That had to have been. That had to have been this kid hit his head.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying. Like, people in my comments are saying that it's not suspicious he hit his head. Like, a lot of medical people are saying this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm telling you, the family has, like, a whole TikTok, Noah's Army.
Do they have a theory? Does the family have
a theory? They believe he was murdered because him being Catholic. That's what I'm getting through the thing. I guess there's a war between Catholics and Protestants there that we don't know. Yeah. You know, we don't have that here, but they have that in Ireland. Yeah. I mean, it's a huge thing. So, and they think maybe race was part of it too. You know what I mean? So
there's zero footage, though, from when he starts walking, he's just gone.
That's it. Yeah, there's zero footage. But the whole time, and this is done. This is like he leaves the house at 5:30, 5:43, he's missing. Like gone. Within 13 minutes of leaving his house. You know, it was
that's
quick.
Murder. That's murder.
It just don't seem right.
Getting back on the bike with no clothes on, that's just the weird
stuff.
part.
Yeah.
Like, I could see if we didn't know any of that and we weren't following him and it was like, okay, in 13 minutes he's just gone and then he's in a drain. Yeah, someone killed him because he's young, healthy. He was a healthy guy. And
nothing. The kid was,
Okay.
Yeah, it's very strange. And I mean, people in Ireland, it's like the JonBenet Ramsey case.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
They are like, either people think it was just an accident or people think it was murder. You know what I mean? And if you go to a video I just did, it's at about 40,000 views right now, and they're arguing in there. Like the people from Ireland under my comments are arguing.
Check that. Yeah. Now, are there any suspects?
No, because the police are saying there's nothing to investigate. It was an accident.
That is that's not that just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
you don't go ride a bike, fall off, take your clothes off, ditch the bike, ditch your stuff, start walking, and end up dead. I mean, that doesn't.
Now this.
So on the autopsy, what does the autopsy reveal? Is there brain trauma? Is there any abuse to the body?
You know what? No one ever sent me the report. It's funny because I've had other cases that people had me do videos on, and they sent me the autopsy report because the victims' families got it and they said, "What do you think it is?" I've actually had people send me autopsy reports.
We need this one.
This one, that's a good point. I got to bring that up because I was actually, when I was running my own podcast, I was actually going to get his mom on my podcast. From Ireland. Fantastic. I know, that would have been, because I'm telling you, this case is huge in Ireland. It's huge. But just getting to another case that's similar to this, I don't know if you ever heard of the case, and I can't think of the lady, I think her name was Lisa Lam, Chelsea Hotel in California. Did you ever see that?
Of course. Wait a second.
She ends up in a water tank?
The Cecil.
The Cecil, not Chelsea.
The Cecil.
Cecil, that's right.
You have to go on, is that Netflix?
Yes.
Watch that. That is insane. The Cecil. And she's in the water, and they're drinking the water.
Dawn, is that that's the craziest case.
Yes.
You watch that, and you'll be like, Danny's right. This is the craziest case ever heard of.
There is so much there.
Yes.
That looks, from a psychological standpoint, when I was watching that doc, and you can watch
it's giving me chills right now, you talking about it.
I'm looking at it from a psychological standpoint, and I'm thinking to myself, from her natural reaction through the camera, that either someone's right there scaring the ever-living shit out of her, or she is completely in psychosis believing. Yeah. Because there's so much lack of evidence that somebody did this to her.
Yeah.
So while I'm watching it, my mind had to say, okay, this is a complete and utter mental breakdown. So I looked at this, what if there's nobody? Right. And she did this to herself? Or who did this to her?
Right.
So you have to look at it two sides, and this one still has me completely boggled. I don't know.
I don't remember what country was she from. She was from Europe, I believe.
I think she was Asian.
She was, but I think they lived in Europe.
Yeah?
So I think. I could be wrong, but anyway, she was from another country.
She wasn't from here. Her parents weren't here.
Yeah. She was Asian, but for some reason, I think she lived in Europe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I think you're right.
But anyway, she comes to L.A. to visit on her own, to see L.A., and she stays at the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah.
And she's there for days. All of a sudden, she goes missing, no contact with her parents, nothing. And they search the hotel for her. They can't find her. They search the rooms. They search everything. And they get a video of her, which we all seen on an elevator. If you've never seen a scary video before, watch it.
This. And if you can Google, when you're done watching this today, go Google it. It is insane because you have to look at her perspective. She's hiding from somebody in this hotel. In this elevator, she is completely terrified.
And she starts doing like freaky things with her arms. Yeah. Like her arms are, I don't know. Yeah. People think it's demonic. People think it's like, I don't know.
That's what made me think it was more psychological.
Yes.
She was having some sort of a breakdown, some sort of psychosis or something like that. Because when she was doing that, if there was somebody actually there, we would have seen either someone come into the frame or they would have attempted to get close. Or unless, how freaky is this? They're standing there with her like, I'm not going to show myself because the camera's right there.
And she's like looking to see if people are coming.
If people are coming, I think something wasn't right. But how did she get in there?
I don't know.
Curl up there. So she ends up in the huge water tower, right?
Yes, this is disgusting.
This is so sick.
This is so sick, folks. Trigger warning.
100%.
Trigger warning what we're about to tell you.
Yes. See, Our producer today, though, I just want to tell you, she looked at Danny. Now she's a little nuts. She looked at Danny and she goes, "No, Danny, it's okay." And he goes, "I don't even say half the things I want to say." And she's like, "No, go ahead. Whatever's on your mind." I was like, "Don't do that. Are you kidding me? We're getting completely canceled." I'm so worried about getting canceled. He doesn't care. But Maria's like, "Yeah, go for it, Danny. Don't go for it." Anyway, so we'll tell them, though. Yeah. So this young lady, she's like young, right? Was she in her early 20s?
20s, early 20s, yeah.
Yeah. So she ends up in the water tower that's on top of the Cecil Hotel in California. And so people were drinking and showering. And there were some, I'm like getting that feeling in my throat right now. Like I'm going to throw up. There's right?
It's so bad.
And people were complaining at the Cecil Hotel at that time that their water was coming out discolored. And
they were drinking it.
And they were drinking it and breathing in it. And there's this human, poor baby girl up there found, and she was nude.
Yes.
Right? So there are theories that she really lost her mind and she climbed up in this water
tower.
She
took her clothes off, jumped in
just like the other one.
Yeah.
Took the clothes off. That's got to be something too. But you know, in a lot of mental illnesses, taking clothes off is like a thing.
Oh, yeah. It
is. So
there's so many times I was on police calls where people walking nude down the street.
Yeah, and you're like, what happened with the clothes? And for them, the clothes are just, I'm carrying something I don't need to be carrying. Naked's more freeing, I think. And then also for them, it's some people feel like the clothes are suffocating them. A lot of people with like delusional disorders and things like that, they feel like the clothes are getting them. So it's better just to be naked. So
I did see a nude woman this week.
You did?
Yes.
Was it on Las Vegas Boulevard? No, I'm just asking. Was it on Las Vegas Boulevard? Because I see nude women all the time on Las Vegas Boulevard. They're just trailing along, and I'm like, "Hey, girl, how are you? Do you?"
This is the total truth. I don't know how we always get off topics.
Do you know we've been trying? How long has it been, Danny? 6 months. We've been trying to have a show about crime, and every time we sit down to each other, because you know what? Our production, she's a bad influence. She's like, "Let's go for it, guys. I love you guys." And then we ended up shooting the shit for an hour, and you guys never get the true story. Let's try today to give them something.
All right. You want to hear I saw a nude woman?
Oh, yeah. I need to
know. You know I'm at Lake Mead a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I'm walking the docks down there at Lake Mead, and I'm walking, and all of a sudden I look up, and there's this lady walking with no top on.
Just
on the
no
docks.
top.
Yes. And she looked at me, I looked at her, and she said, "Oh, bad timing. I was just running out to get something in my boat." I'm like, "Okay."
Bad timing.
She walked down and goes, "Oh, bad timing." I'm like, I didn't know what to do. It was like awkward. I'm like, "Hi."
I love the fact. Oh my God, I just heard it. I love the fact Danny Miner doesn't know what to do.
I honestly did.
If it was any other situation, he'd be like, "You know what I just saw, guys?" And he'd be starting to scream.
That's
you
true.
see some boobs, and he's like, "Don't know what to do there. Gotta look away."
I was like a little boy that was like, saw something he shouldn't have seen. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was scared.
I would have seen the lady and been like, "Didn't get the memo. You have a good day." I don't care. That doesn't bother
She wasn't embarrassed at all. I guess she was going to try to run out to her boat without anybody seeing her. I just happened to be there. I was like, "Oh, God." That's the truth, though. Yeah. But I have seen people nude in Vegas. Walking down the street. Yeah, I've seen it.
Well, this is even more sad. We always go to the sad. Do you think our show's depressing?
We went from a girl that died in a water tank and everybody was drinking her dead water to somehow nude women on a dock at Lake Mead.
Hold on. You gotta put that dead water into the clip, drinking her dead water. That's so funny. I love the way you word stuff. Only when you don't word things like an old person, then I like it. That's the dead water. That's cool.
I get the old person.
I know.
I know.
No,
my girlfriend gets on.
I was watching our show back, and I was like, "Oh my God!" The way you say Yahoo, Yahoo. That's like an old man would say Yahoo. You can't do that. You got to change it, like Gmail.
But you guys got to 2 months, I'm going to be 55.
That's not old. Guys,
55.
Can you write in and please? I know the women love Danny. They do. You have to see the
I'm getting old, though. I need cream or something for the wrinkles.
You do not. I even have friends that are like, "Dude, he's hot." I'm like, "One, he has a girlfriend. She's nice, and I love her. And two, and like, no, but for real, I have friends like Danny Miner's so cute. Yeah, he is. You don't look like you're going to be 55. You look like a young man. Very nice."
I'm old. Yeah, so when I open my mouth, you could tell I'm old.
Yeah.
Certain
words, like when you taste or you eat the pot or you taste the pot, or what you say, the weed.
The weed.
The weed. You can't say that.
And I did.
So weird.
I did hit needles.
You don't call it the. You don't call it the Facebook, do you? No. That's when you know you were. You're officially OG old freaking the Facebook. Gotta go on the Facebook.
Now, I don't know if you know this, and this is going to get off topic again, but it's actually a good topic for now. My one friend became very popular on Facebook. He was my police partner. Okay. Did you see this?
I did.
My video?
Oh, wait. Not the picture. I just recently saw a picture of you. No. Okay. Something else.
No, my friend came out, and he was my partner for 14 years on night shift. We drove together. We hung out together. He was my partner. He was married, and recently he came out gay. And I never knew he was gay. Never. And I'm going to tell you guys the story. I mean, he was my partner for 14 years. We worked night shift together. We got in fights together. He had my back, everything. Mm-hmm. We are like this. Even to this day, we are like this. So I'm going to tell you a long story short. He calls me one day and he says to me, hey, what's up? I'm going to come visit you out in Vegas. I'm like, awesome, man. Yeah. He lives in Pennsylvania, and he said, I'm coming out there to get married. And I'm like, awesome, because he was divorced. He went through a real bad divorce, actually, when we were
Any kids now? Did he have any
kids? He has two daughters, right? Okay. So he said, you're going to be shocked when I get out there, but I want you to come to my wedding. He goes, you're going to be shocked. And I'm like, okay.
What did you figure? It was like a girl you knew or something? Yeah.
So I honestly, I got off the phone with him. I said to my girlfriend, I said, hey, Dave's coming out to visit. And she knows him because when I went back home when my mom died, I hung out with him the whole time. We went for a hike together. We did all this stuff together, right? So long story short, he tells me, you're going to be shocked. I'm going to be coming out in, 2 months. I'm like, all right, sounds good, buddy. We'll talk to you then. I hang up. I really don't get into who he's getting married to because he really didn't seem like he wanted to tell me, but it sounded like it was somebody I knew. And he wanted me to be shocked that he's marrying somebody. I was thinking maybe he's marrying his ex-wife. You know what I mean? I was thinking something like
crazy.
That. Yeah.
So let me ask you, though, to you at that point, you were like, oh, my friend's happy. You didn't care who he was marrying at that point. Okay.
Right. So, I mean, and you got to realize this is a friend of mine. This isn't just an acquaintance.
Yeah.
I worked with this guy for years and years. So long story short, 2-3 days later, I get a text message from one of my other police friends that's retired, and he says to me, Dave just posted a picture on Facebook with some guy. And he goes, I've never seen this guy before. Is it his brother? And I went over to Facebook and I looked at the picture and I kept looking at it and I thought, man, this must be his brother and this. And honestly, it took me about 3 or 4 minutes to realize, like I kept all these thoughts were going through my head, and then I looked up to my girlfriend and said, oh my God, this is who Dave's married. Dave's gay. Like, I had no idea. I swear to God, I had no idea. I worked with him for 14 years in the same car every night. I know him for 30 years. Yeah. I never knew this. So I was thinking to myself, oh my God. So I text him. And I said, listen, I know who you're marrying, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Everything's good, brother. That's what I texted him. And he texted me back and he said, actually, it's giving me chills. It makes me feel sad for him because he hid that secret the whole time with us.
Oh, so wait, he knew he was, he knew he was gay the whole time. He wasn't acting on it, or you didn't know because he was holding it from...
Yeah, because don't forget, he was married for about 14 years. Yeah. Then he dated a girl for another 10 years, another girl.
Yeah, so he must have had a lot of turmoil.
So when he came out, I texted him and he said, I went to his wedding and everything when they came out here. And so anyway, long story short, to get to the good point of this, him and his husband, they started a TikTok because they saw me doing TikTok. Okay. So I encouraged him to do this TikTok. Yeah. And he's older than his husband, okay? So he's calling it Raising Dylan. And they got so... Yes, Dylan. And the reason I'm bringing this up, because you talked about old, he does old things on there and makes him seem real old, and Dylan makes fun of him. He'll call everything a company, like the Starbucks company. We went to the Starbucks company. We went to the Burger King company. That is old. So that's what he does. But they got so popular. It's called Raising Dylan. They got so popular on TikTok. They're at 100,000.
I am going to check that out. Guys, go to Raising Dylan. This sounds hysterical because I almost feel like it's you and I in a sense.
Yes.
Because I feel like I'm trying to keep us young, Dave, so we get a younger audience base, and you keep doing old shit.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll tell you what, it was, what hurt me was, I know, you're talking about an alpha male environment that this man was in. It had to scare him every day that we would find out.
Yeah.
Honestly, absolutely. Don't. Especially, and you, I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I mean, people could have never came out then.
No.
I mean, people didn't accept it back then. I mean, and I give it to our young people. They accept everybody now. Our young people, they're an example to us. They really are. I mean, they really are.
I was just going to say, as you're telling this story, a 20-something would be watching this and being like, who cares, Danny? Your best friend of so-and-so is getting married to a man. Because that's normal to them.
Yeah, but to
us, it's different. It's like, it's not taboo. Because I grew up in New York City, so my thing was everybody was gay anyway. All my schools, there was gay people everywhere. Like, 95% of my friends were gay or straight or bi. Like, to me, it's never been a big thing. I grew up in a family where, like, no, you're gay, you're... or whatever, who are you? You know, it doesn't matter. But yes, I do know a lot of people that especially men, that it's like, oh no, you don't do that. Or if you hang out with someone that's gay in our generation, it made you look gay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it must have been super hard on your friend to even attempt. But it's so cool for him to come out now and get married and be who he is. All right, we have a 2 minute.
2 minutes. But let me tell you, when I worked with, I switched departments then. I went to the state. Okay, after I left that department, I was actually the chief of police of that department. Dave was our detective. When I got promoted, I made Dave the detective. So I promoted him to detective. But anyway, long story short, our other police department, we had a gay officer on there also. His name was Larry. He's funny.
And everybody got along with him.
Everybody got along with him fine. We would direct traffic in the mornings together, right? And if a girl would walk by, he would say, listen, if you're going to look at the girls, I'm going to look at the guys. And I'd say, Larry, you do whatever you want. He said, if you're going to look at the girls when they don't go through the crosswalk, I'm going to look at the guys. I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, honestly, everybody accepted him.
Yeah.
You know, everybody accepted him. He never had one problem.
I think it's so funny that you and I are even having this conversation in this day and age because we were raised this way.
Yeah.
And people that are young now, they have no idea what that's even like. So you're right, it is cool. We should look up to them now.
Yeah.
We always knock the 20-somethings, you and I, so let's give them some credit.
I give them props.
We give them props because they are accepting of so many things that we wouldn't be.
Yeah.
To be completely transparent, because Maria told you to say what's on your mind. When we come back, actually, I have a question for you. You're going to have to tell me how you feel about this trans thing. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be back. Guys, 2 minutes.
Ready to buy a home? Whether you want to move out of your parents' home for the first time, own a home after renting for years, or buy a place with a spouse or partner, purchasing your first home is a big step. Finding the right home for you and your family has never been easier. New American Funding can help you determine how much house you qualify for, what your payments may be, and get you pre-approved, which will help you put in a stronger offer when you do find your new home. Before you start the home buying process, it's important to consider everything that you want in a home and what that means to you. There are several things you should consider when buying a home. The neighborhood. Location, location, location. School district. Review what school district the house is in. Even if you don't have kids, having a home in a desirable school district will pay off when it comes time to sell your home in the future. Commute times. Check the routes to work, school, grocery stores, and more to see how busy they are and how much time these routes will take. Crime rate. Before you get too involved in the home buying process, check out the crime rates for the neighborhoods you are interested in. Our complete property profile report can give you property ownership, historical tax and mortgage data, neighborhood and school data, local market conditions, and more. Find the right home for you and your family with your complimentary property profile from New American Funding. To get pre-approved or to get your complimentary property profile, contact us today.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
The year is 2980, and we now know that death is not the end. A soul can be extracted from the recently deceased and be used to create a blue liquid called essence. It can bring a person back to life.
We'll get her back.
I hope so.
It's an expensive process used by the rich and powerful. The rest, they do what they can to survive.
Stay right there.
You told me you're hiding from some dangerous people.
Let's knock on the door. I spent the last year searching for the Deep Star. A bounty so big that the entire galaxy could be yours.
People have been looking for the Deep Star for years. They can't be found.
It's because they can't find the distress beacon. I know where it is.
If we find the Deep Star, we could get enough credits to bring Mom back.
Blast off.
Guys, we have company.
You can run, but you cannot hide. Prepare for impact.
I am now authorized to take action.
And now you die.
No!
Welcome back, Vegas Views. Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner, maybe meds. We'll see. All right,
I might need meds.
I know. All right.
Well, that's a fact that I do need meds.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
We just opted to be our authentic selves. And
I medicate myself.
Yes, he eats the weed. Okay, that's what he does. He eats the weed, guys.
I drink the weed.
Oh, you drink? Oh, yeah, you got those things.
Hey, did you see my video on TikTok? I have one. I have it in my hand. In the TikTok video, it says high tea on it.
And everyone's like, that explains them.
Yes.
Okay, so I had a serious question for Danny, and if you want to just dodge my question completely,
I'm not going to dodge. I don't dodge any questions.
I know. But if you wanted to, okay, so tell me, we were raised in a specific generation and a very, very different time than now, and I hope that other people watching do understand that, you know, we were raised this way, so we know one thing, and then we evolve and grow, and whatever we become. So let me ask you, with that being said, I'm sure you were raised in a specific way,
Catholic.
where a
Right.
transgender person may be a little odd in your household.
Right.
Like your parents may not have said, "Oh, Danny, the nice new neighbor boy is now a female."
Right.
You know, it might have been sounding a little bit different in your house growing up. I know it would have been sounding.
Oh, yeah,
different
yeah,
in my
of
house
course,
growing
yeah.
up. So we can't really help it, but we can grow from that. Tell me what you think nowadays of transgender people and our community.
I'm gonna tell you this. It's funny that you brought this topic up because I watched a TikTok video last night. I always go back to TikTok.
Yeah.
That's all I do. TikTok is the only thing I do. It's 24/7.
Staycations, and he loves poker.
Poker,
and
that's all I
weed,
do.
And
Yeah,
drinking and eating weed. Yes. Dietary.
But I can't remember the guy's name, and I apologize. If I could get my phone, I'd be able to get his name, but I can't remember it right off. He was a WWE wrestler. So
oh my God. Yes, I know who you're talking about. I love her.
Yes.
I love her. You watch her on TikTok?
Yes.
She was she massive.
Massive,
tatted.
like if you saw this, like you when she was a man,
yes,
you would have been scared of this person.
Yes.
I mean,
he
huge.
was a good looking dude. I mean,
yes.
Massive, bulked, beautiful long hair, very beautiful face. He was a good looking dude.
Yes.
WWE. I cannot believe
I can't think of his name.
One.
I watched this video last night.
Her name. I did. Stop! I was flipping because the new one with the blonde hair.
Yeah, it hurt my heart when I listened to it. I thought to myself, my God, he explained it. She explained it so well of why she did this.
Yes, and
she explained it so well. It's the best I ever heard.
With the clips when he's down.
Yes, it's exactly what I watched.
Night. Okay, so last night
that should go national because people need to see that video. Honestly,
yes,
they need to see that video. She explained so well why she did this.
Absolutely.
She explained it so well.
When she said something like, I couldn't think of another day not like living in her body. Yes. Okay, so this is the thing. WWE, massively good-looking guy.
I can't think of his name. I'm sure people would know.
Yeah, married, has a child, beautiful wife. All of a sudden decides in 2011, was it? I don't know, some year, that he decides he's going to transition. He's a woman in his heart. Now, mind you, he's already bulked up to, I'm going to say 350 solid.
Oh, he's big guy.
Big.
Yes.
So he totally transforms his body into a female body, like just tones down completely to like a tiny little woman. Not a tiny little woman because he's still tall. Yeah. She's still tall. Tiny little woman gets breast implants.
Yes.
Totally changes the face. Unfortunately, I didn't like this because I've been following her. I've been following her for a long time.
And she's a fitness coach.
She's a fitness coach. And she's amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
I love her.
I would follow. Definitely follow.
Yeah, follow her.
Yeah, follow.
Sad thing, though, I kind of loved for a while. I've been following them for a while, her and her wife. But they're getting a divorce now.
I know. I saw that.
Because they were it seemed like they were so happy together. And I commended the wife at first, but I felt really bad for the wife. You know why?
Yeah.
She gets in this marriage. She marries this big, beautiful man. She loves him. She has a child. They have this happy life. They're really productive together. And then all of a sudden, imagine it's like the death of somebody.
Yeah.
When you were watching it, weren't you feeling like that guy died?
Yeah.
Like he was no longer existing?
I felt bad because, but if you watch the video, especially the one with the 2 screens. Yes. Because you could see him wrestling and then
working out.
Yeah, and she's then explains why this happened. And basically she said, I don't expect you to understand.
Yeah.
Because I kind of don't understand. I just want to be this way.
You could never fully understand, too. You're not a trans person.
Yes.
You would never be able to understand.
Just like I can't explain ADHD to somebody. They won't understand how I feel.
Right. I look at you, and I get it to a point, but I can't say, oh, I understand what it's like to just wake up and go, I do that a little bit, but I'm not like, I can't fully get it. But I respect it and understand it through you. So overall, I guess my question to you is you do support the trans community.
I'll tell you what, when I watched that video, I swear to you, it teared me up a little bit. I mean, she opened up so much and explained it so well. Yeah. I wish she would go on some news stations and clear all of it up because it was amazing the way she explained it. She said, I don't really know why I'm doing this, but I just feel like I need to be this. Yes, and I don't expect you to understand. I don't expect you to understand.
Yeah. Imagine waking up. Well, she did say this is since she was younger that she was putting on her mom's clothes.
Right,
and it showed him with his dad, so Raleigh and stuff like that. But imagine, like, just waking up tomorrow. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but identifying as somebody that you're not. Like, I'm this person, but I don't identify with this anymore. Like
I agree.
It is so wild to even. I don't know what that feels like. I'm sure you don't know what that feels like, but that's like kind of wild. That's really like a mind trip, and to go through with it and go against what most of the world would think of you at that point. Especially, he's old school. He even said it. He was raised in the '80s as well.
Right.
He was growing up in the '80s to think.
Oh, he did say
accepted. That. He thinks it's going to she. Because I think of him and then I think of her. I think of them almost as 2 different people.
Yeah.
In a way, which is so crazy that I'm just, my perception, just being honest, my perception, I'm viewing them as 2 different people because they're so vastly different.
Yeah.
And just it seems like he was just a massive cover because now she's so authentic.
Yes.
You can tell like she's the real version of them.
I immediately followed. Because it's something that needs to get out there. And I wish that he pushes that more, goes on some news stations, she pushes it more. Yeah. So she can get the word out there because definitely should be a spokesman for the trans community. Honestly, do you feel that way?
Absolutely, 100%. And I'm so proud of you, too, because you being a detective, an officer, a man's man. I saw old pictures of you. He was like this massive brawly, throwing people in the headlock and doing
I was strong, I'll admit. Yeah. Now I'm weak.
He was like doing some badass, you're not weak, but doing some badass young people shit. He was roughing people up, right? So I could see you being like this alpha male around a bunch of other alpha males and not really back then understanding. So for you now to come this far to say like, hey, I was watching this trans lady last night and to, your gay friend and like, that's really cool. For women, I think it's different, but for you at your age, which is not old, but for you at your age to say like, no, I'm totally open and transparent. That just makes you like a good open-minded person. The rest of the world needs to be like that. Because if the rest of the world was like that, we were going to stop a lot of hate.
And you know what? The thing is, we got accepted, but you got to realize, put yourself in your situation. You want to feel comfortable where you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't feel comfortable. I mean, and people stare, they do this, they do that. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it would be hard. It really would.
Absolutely.
It would be hard. And you got to realize how hard that was. And Dave coming out, my buddy coming out after, he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To come out, I think to myself, the secret he lived all them years.
How sad.
I mean, he had a hurt inside. And Dawn, like I said.
And wait, not to cut you off, but we only get, what, 60, 70, 80, 90 years if we're lucky.
If we're lucky.
All of that time, he's not. Imagine if, Danny, you couldn't be your authentic self. Someone was like, zip up the ADD, shut your mouth, don't talk and scream anymore. You'd be like, you have to sit there for your... That's so horrific. Emotionally on somebody.
And you know what? Honestly, and I'll be totally honest with you, I worked with this man every night. He had my back. I had his back. We fought together. We've probably been in 100 fights together. Bar fights, everything, right? And never once did I think he was gay. Honestly, never once done. Like it was
because you never know someone's sexual preference. There are then flamboyant males, flamboyant females. There are masculine females. There are so many different breeds and things of people nowadays. There's everything, and we're more open to it. So there is, so we can kind of tell in a way, and not to be stereotypical or judging. I'm not judging by any means, but back then, if somebody didn't want you to know, they're just still a man or still a woman. Now they're able to just say, okay, I'm going to act flamboyant or I'm going to act this way and that way because it's more so accepted.
Right. And listen, if I can't, listen, I don't want to get political on the thing. No. But, the thing is, people go to religion on this. And that irritates the heck out of me because, somebody does not say, oh, I'm going to be gay.
No.
They were born that way. If you don't think they were born that way, you need to get yourself some help.
Yeah.
Because they were born that way.
100% agree. I do agree in sexual choice, though. I believe that, I know in my own theory here that, yes, people are born gay, but then you have people that do change over time.
Maybe,
So you have a woman or a man who's been with the opposite sex for so long and like, maybe this isn't what I want anymore, or experimented, didn't realize that they were gay or bisexual, and then moved forward like that. I mean, to each his own. What everybody does is their own business. I have no problem with anyone. I always say, as long as people are good to me, I'll be good to you. I don't care who you are, what walk of life you're from. You're good to me, I'll be good to you.
And listen, I always tell people the truth. I'm about 60% Republican and about 40% Democratic, honestly. And I grew up in a Democratic environment. My parents were Democrats. My dad said the Republicans were for the rich, they weren't for us. My dad would tell me that all the time. So I recently changed to Republican when Obama was in office. And I'm going to be honest with you. I changed to Republican because of the way the Democrats were treating the police. That's the only reason I switched parties. 100%. I mean, everything the police did was wrong. So if you had a profession, if you were a plumber, electrician, and our politician bashed you all the time, you would switch parties too.
Absolutely.
Because you would feel you're not wanted by that party. So that's why I switched over to being a Republican. But for 47 years of my life, I was a Democrat. Just the last, 7 or 8 years, I've been a Republican. But... I just think that the Republicans try to bring religion into it. They should.
Absolutely.
Religion should never be part of it.
No.
Really. Because, I mean, listen, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, right? But would they, and they'll bring into, the Bible says this, the Bible says that. What if somebody came in and said, the Quran said this, the Quran said, how would they like that?
Right.
And I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic. That shit, we would not like that. If Muslims came in and said, "What the Quran says this, we need laws like this," we'd be like, "What do you mean?" But yet we want to put Christian law in there.
I take.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I take it as this: we are all, no matter what, we are all God's children. This is my firm belief.
Right.
Good, bad, ugly, evil. We are all God's children. That's it. Bottom line. So whatever that means to anybody, God figures it out. It's not up to us to figure it out. If God has trans people here, he has trans people here. If he has all straight people here, he has straight people. If he has gay people, that's for him to figure out.
Exactly.
That's not for us to even care or figure out. And it definitely doesn't have anything to do with the politicians. But I did see something the other day that made me laugh. So I was watching Joe Biden, and he was trying to convince America. Did you see it? Where he was talking about how our economy is doing just as good as it was right before the pandemic, and he's just trying to still prove that Trump was not good for us financially, which is completely a crock of shit. But anyway, he was saying how our economy is getting so much better, and everything is getting so much better. And then there was like this meme. This guy is like, "Yo, bro, you seen eggs in the supermarket? You're trying to tell me, has anybody watched anything when it comes to housing? Like, no, things are not getting better." But he goes up there and he's like, "And things are just better." And like, right? Someone's selling him a delusion.
Maria told me I could say anything, right?
Yeah, she said it.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Loose cannon. I did not intentionally do this one, listen, I swear.
I would say this is my problem with the Democratic Party. 95% of the stuff that comes out of their mouth is out and out lies. And they expect us to believe it. Like, you can see the lie in the background and they're like, yep, nothing to see here. Like, they expect us not. Like, I'm not dumb.
Danny,
I'm not dumb. Joe Biden doesn't even know he exists. And you can't tell me any different, okay? And you guys vote for him because you hate Trump. You hate Trump so bad that you're going to vote for a guy that's not even here, that ruined our country, ruined our economy, ruined the crime all over the country, all because you hate Donald Trump. And he ruined the country. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you should like Donald Trump. I understand why you don't like him. I totally get it. He's an arrogant ass. I totally get it. But
is there a part of you that likes Donald Trump's arrogant ass?
Yes.
Because
I like that he doesn't care people don't like him.
Yeah.
Because I want to get to that point.
I
want to get to that point where I don't care that people don't like me.
Oh, I'm there.
I'm almost there.
I don't give a shit. People close to me will be like, oh, you gotta watch her. Sometimes she carries no empathy. Like, I really don't. I do not care if someone doesn't like me. I got to a stage in my life a few years ago that love me, hate me, it doesn't matter. It will not affect the way I sleep. I get my rest. I have my wonderful life. I'm okay with or without you. That's how I do. But I love Donald Trump because of that. I said it. I love Donald Trump because I love the fact that he just goes on. And even when he's manipulating, lying, and being a sociopath plus a narcissist, I've already diagnosed him. Absolutely.
He is. There's no doubt.
When he's those things, he's like, yeah, but I know I'm this. Like, he's saying, yes, this is it.
Yeah.
It is going to be my way. I'm going to say vulgar shit. This is who I am.
Right.
He's kind of like you.
I know.
It's kind of like you in a way.
But the thing with Biden, though, I mean, listen, I feel bad for him. I do feel bad for him because I met him. I personally met him.
You did.
I guarded him. I have my picture. I'll send you a picture with him when I was guarding him.
Were you watching him during his nap?
No, he was actually, when he was vice president. So he was a little more with it when he was vice president. But he says stupid stuff. My son died in Iraq. Your son didn't die in Iraq. I mean, why doesn't the media call this guy out? I mean, I don't think he tells one thing that's the truth. I mean, Joe Biden's got to be the biggest liar in American history.
Absolutely.
And people are like, that's my president. It's your president. Why? Because you hate Donald Trump? So you decided to get this guy in office and he ruined the country? I'm sorry. I just don't get it. I'm voting Republican. If you put Joe Biden there, I'm voting Republican. I don't care who the Republican is.
Yeah.
It could be a cartoon character. I'm voting for him before I vote Democratic. Until you get Joe Biden out of there. Now, Robert Kennedy Jr. that wants to run, if he ran, I'd vote for him.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I would vote for him.
Yeah,
so I would vote for that Democrat. But don't tell me you're putting this guy in office that doesn't know he's there. That's making us pay $10 for eggs, $15 for gas. No way, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. And then he turns around and he tells us how good he's doing on television. We're doing so great as a country. No, we're not.
We're not.
No, the homeless population, he's just like, and all this new housing, where?
And you know what? I'm telling you, people aren't going to want to hear this. But Maria told me I'm already canceled already.
We're done.
Yeah. So
the run was fun.
Donald Trump, are you ready for this? Will never, ever, ever be convicted in a court of law.
Never.
Ever.
Ever.
Ever. So if the Democrats think that's going to happen, it's never happening. He will be found not guilty on everything.
Every time.
Every time. You think you're going to get 12 people to convict this man when half the country knows why you're doing this? You're doing this because you don't want him to run. Yep. And you don't want him to run so bad you're now trying to pass laws in states that if you're arrested, you can't run for office. You're doing everything in your power for this man not to run. Now listen, I'm not a huge fan of him, but you're pissing me off so bad, I'm going to vote for him because of this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's out of control. I'm sorry. This is who I am.
Yeah.
This is who I am. I don't care if you like me, you don't like me. I'm going to tell you facts. Democrats don't like the truth. That's the truth.
You said something to me earlier about Democrats and stealing.
What? Oh, no. Listen.
This is interesting, actually.
Maybe I'm a little more Republican than 60%, but
we're working on it here.
Listen, Gavin Newsom, right, comes up with a slicked hair back, right? He looks like the Fonz. He should be wearing a leather jacket, right? This man promotes crime. He promotes it. Do you know people that were convicted of murder that are getting life sentences? This guy's trying to pass a bill to let them get out after this time. They'll be resentenced. Yeah, you murdered somebody. 20 years is enough. Get out the door. That's what Gavin Newsom's doing. He's letting people rob all the stores and get away with it. Businesses can't even air. And he wants to run our country. Slow down, Slick Boy. Slick your hair back. I would never vote for you. That is the worst nightmare. That's worse than Kamala Harris. That's worse.
Don't get started on her. I don't like her. Don't get
worse.
From jump. I never liked her. Did you call him Slick Boy?
Yes.
I fucking love it.
I can't stand him. I can't stand to see him on TV. I can't. This guy is your typical, I'm better than you. Look at how good looking I am. Like when he walks in the room, he thinks all the girls are bowing down to him. That's exactly what I see this guy. You know what he is. He starts with a D. That's exactly what he is.
I'm going to Google and see if he's good looking, because it's worse when you're not good looking and they think they're good looking.
Oh, he thinks he's good looking.
Oh, okay.
He walks in a room. He has his hair feathered back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the Fonz. He should be wearing a leather jacket.
Do you know 90% of the audience right now, the feathered hair and the Fonz have no idea what you're talking about? I know. Maria knows. They don't know. Fonzie. It was a show back in the day. What's Fonzie's real name?
Arthur.
No, not Arthur.
Arthur Fonzarelli. What the hell's wrong with
me?
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler, yes. Henry Winkler played a character named Fonzie. And feathered hair is kind of like when you go like that and push it like almost a John Travolta. You gotta explain it like that to them, Danny. If you don't, they're just like, well, they're talking all
Listen, you know this is my last show, right?
I know. Maria's like, you guys are done. Find another
Danny, don't show up tomorrow. Listen, that's okay.
Find another platform. Like
I've always been like this.
Break.
Oh, break in 2 minutes.
2 minutes to a break. But yeah, you know what? I agree with you 100%. You know what? I love it. Freedom of speech. We're entitled to have our opinions and how we feel, and you know.
Oh, not anymore. Oh, you can't have opinions anymore. It's either the Democratic way. If you don't believe like the Democrats, you're getting canceled. You better believe every single word they say, even though it's total false. You better believe it. No, economy's great, guys. Economy's great. 88-cent eggs. Biden just told us.
Because haven't you guys seen everything and gas and this and that? And have you been to your supermarkets? And I'm like, yeah. Like my eggs are $9.98. Yeah.
I agree.
Brown eggs, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what eggs he's talking about.
I mean, people are now drinking Kool-Aid again, for God's sake, because they can't afford anything. But this guy wants to sit up there and lie to us.
People aren't drinking Kool-Aid because of Biden. Oh, my God.
Kool-Aid iced tea because they can't afford it.
Danny
We're back to the days, putting that, what was that, quick thing to make chocolate milk? Because Biden, we can't afford anything. Milk's $10.
Quick? Oh, Quick!
Yeah, what was it called?
Yeah, no, there's Quick and then there's Hershey syrup.
Yeah,
Which one did you like better, the powder or the syrup?
The powder.
You like the powder
better?
Yeah, because the syrup was kind of like that, and then the bottom of it, you had to shake it real good, and if not, it was kind of like sticky on the end.
Listen, Don, I didn't want to get into politics, but when it does,
it was fun.
I used to argue with my dad all the time, because my dad was a diehard Democrat.
Yeah.
He would hate that as a Republican now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's rolling in his grave.
Yeah.
He's rolling in his grave.
You know, my dad.
They're not for you, they're for the rich. That's what my dad's telling me right now.
My dad would just keep on about Trump right now. He's got to get back in office. You guys need Trump. This world's not going to be a good place without Trump. That's what my dad would have been saying. He would need some Trump.
I mean, do I think he stirred up that January 6th thing? Yeah. I think he did.
I gotta be honest with you, though. Let me tell you something. If TikTok ever cancels you, there's gonna be a,
Oh yeah.
Half the world's gonna be like with the Danny Minor signs and shit. Maria leading the pact. I'll be there.
My fathers do like me. Some of them.
No, they do. They love you. All right, guys, we're going on a 2-minute break. We'll be right back. You're not gonna want to miss what's coming up next.
Oh God.
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak. If you want to buy or sell a home, call Michelle, 702-683-6576.
Hi, I'm Deacon T with Modern Word Ministries. It's great to be with you today. Just a short little promo for our show. Every Sunday morning we have service, and you can follow us at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on modernwordministries.org. And if you missed us or you want to see some of our older messages, go ahead and check us out on socialmediashows.com every single morning at 9 a.m. It's a great way to kick off your day, get a little bit of the word in you, get something uplifting, get you started off on your way. You know, if you're looking for prayer or you need some help, reach out to us. If you go to our website, again, that's modernwordministries.org, you can interact with me via telephone, via DM, text message, whatever you want. I'll get right back to you. So if you need prayer, you need help, you just need somebody to talk to, Modern Word Ministries is here for you. We are your church in the community. So until you see you next time, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York. So his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provide.
Welcome back, Vegas Views. Danny Miner, Dawn Sullivan, Absolutely No Meds. I want to take a second real quick on a serious note and just give a shout out to someone that's very close to me. I just wanted to tell you, Blake Slagle, you're doing an amazing job at life. You're killing it. You're doing hard things, and I love you. I appreciate you, and I'm just so proud of you. So with that being said, that was just a personal note to somebody.
Awesome.
Okay, with that being said, we were just talking about who's going to be the next president.
You're really trying to get me canceled.
Yeah. No, we're a team. Then I'd be canceled. Okay.
Listen, I can't help it. My views are my views. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
All right. So talk to me. What do you think about the next president?
I'm going to tell you this. I've seen a switch on TikTok. Okay. I really have. I'm on TikTok all the time. And believe it or not, folks, I'm going to give you an example how big TikTok is. I checked the other day. I have 72 million views. That's insane for somebody, just a normal guy like me, to have 72 million people.
Pump the brakes. No.
What?
Normal guy like you. No. A normal guy is like a normal volume, normal. No, you're not a normal guy on TikTok.
So maybe not normal. A little bit below normal. But that's how many views I got. I only have close to 200,000 viewers. There's some people with millions of followers. Here's the thing. People are watching on TikTok more than they're watching on the news and everything.
Absolutely.
And what I've seen on TikTok, I've seen a switch. I've seen since Donald Trump has been arrested, I've seen people coming out and say, listen, there's a reason now they're going after this guy. Like, people are starting to wake up and saying, they're going after this guy hard. They didn't just charge him once. They charged him 4 times. 4 different cases. Now they're trying to stop him from running in states. They're trying to make laws ahead of time so he can't run. And people are saying, wait a second, why? So my thing is, too, I'm starting to feel he's going to be the president again.
Oh, I hope so.
I'm starting to feel that. I really am.
I hope so. I really, truly hope so. There goes half of my fan base. They're going to hate me, but I absolutely hope so. I think no matter how much, like I said, he's a narcissist, he's a sociopath. No matter, he is. These are like diagnosable things. I can diagnose them.
He is.
Yes, but he can run this country. He will not allow us to be poor.
Right.
Our housing was so much better. Economically, it was so much better. Banks where everything was better financially because he wasn't a politician. He's a businessman.
Yes.
And they tried to clump him up into the political game, and they're trying to race him out in the political game, and it's not going to happen because, again, he's a businessman.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, he's not going away for not a day. No. Not a day.
He'll never see a day in prison.
No.
Never.
No.
And I seen these Democrats, finally he's going, he's not going to jail. You're going to be so sad when he's not going to jail, and the trials are going to be a year long. Oh my God, it's a travesty that this country's doing this. Honestly, it's a travesty.
And you know what's so cool about Trump too? Like, and this is going to eat so many people. I'm definitely getting canceled after this. I just like love the haters. I don't know. But anyway.
The thing about TikTok is you can't get canceled. That's what's really good about TikTok.
No, but you can though. If you say
if they keep reporting it. Yeah, well, TikTok might. I've been suspended once.
That's it?
I've been suspended once. Oh, my videos, 30 of them been taken.
Oh, yeah.
30.
You know, too, when you're doing
the video, right? You're like, I'm always like, I don't know about this one. Yeah, they get taken out. If you talk about politics at all, you got a chance of being taken down.
Of course.
Definitely.
But, yeah, so what are we doing here, Danny?
I don't know. I won't even be able to post any of this.
I know. But anyway, you know what I think is funny? When they saw Donald Trump's mugshot and people were like, oh, yeah, you know, America, and this is what it's about, or this and that. But nobody had a problem with them when the housing market was in a boom and the bank percentages were so low and APRs were tiny and people buying new cars and everyone's thriving. Nobody hated Trump then. They were all like, you know, he's doing all right, you know, whatever. You know, he's got a foul mouth and he's a little bossy.
Right.
You know? And then also, I don't want to get into it. Tell me about the migrants.
Oh, immigration?
Well, right now what's going on? They're filling the streets of all our major cities.
I just don't... How long can we make this... How long could this last?
Well, Biden said open the border to everyone.
I mean, I just don't know how that can last. And I get it. Listen, I get this. If I lived in another country, I'd try to come here too.
Yeah.
I would come here. This is the land of the free. I get it. Well, not really anymore. It's sort of land of the free, depending. Depending if you're on the Democratic side, it's land of the free. If you're a Republican, yeah, you can't say anything. But anyway, I get why they're coming here. I get it. But this is our country. We can't let it fill up. We can't. I mean, we have to control it. And they're just, I don't know. Don, I just don't know. Crime's out of control. Immigration's out of control. Everything's out of control.
I have friends in New York currently. They live in nice neighborhoods, and literally within blocks of their home, they have just like these barricades off and people literally sleeping on the streets for blocks and blocks. And they're all migrants. They have to wear these tags.
Yeah.
And they get to ride around in scooters because they give them scooters and then food, but they can't put them up in these hotels yet because there's not enough space in the hotels. There's migrants all over the street, and now the crime is starting to hike up. Robberies, home break-ins, home
Well, how do you not expect it? They don't have food, they don't have water, of course. What are you going to do? You got to resort to crime. I mean, seriously, like, you almost think that they're trying to do this. They're trying to ruin the country. I just don't get it. I see stuff and I think to myself, we're watching people break into stores and nobody's doing anything.
Wait.
What the hell is going on?
They're allowed to steal only if it's under $9.99. So anything under $1,000 they can steal. Just so you guys know. You can go and steal anything you want in California for under $1,000. If it's over $1,000, then they can go to jail.
Dawn, and if I go on TikTok and I condemn this, I condemn them breaking into stores, I'm no good. Yeah. I'm no good.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the Democrats are the party of crime.
Yeah.
Let's vote for crime right here. I vote for crime. Give me that vote. Yep. I want my house broken into. I think I'll vote for Biden again. Oh, Gavin Newsom. He loves crime. He loves criminals. Bring him. Let's vote for him for president. He'll do everything for us. The criminals be running the whole place. Sorry. I knew I was going to do this today.
Our producer told him to say whatever he wanted.
I just can't believe people support this. I sit there. Do you ever think to yourself, I sit there and think, am I wrong? Am I the wrong one?
I do.
I do. Should I allow these people to break into a store? I don't know. Am I the wrong one? Because people on the internet tell me I'm wrong for thinking that they shouldn't break into a store. I don't know. I guess I'm nuts.
It's almost like this. Like there's the crazy.
And there'll be people mad at me and you for this. There'll be people mad at me and you for this, and we're telling you the truth. Go listen to your fake news if you want CNN. They'll tell you.
Yeah, and then hop on TikTok, Instagram, and social media networks to get the real news. You know they hate us.
I know.
It's okay.
I know. And you know, I was into politics big time on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I got away from it because it was so draining.
Yeah.
Like I would post 5 videos for them to be taken down for community guidelines violations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just had to get away from it. My live was being canceled. Everything was being canceled.
Sometimes you rip the police apart,
yeah.
which is crazy because Danny was an officer for a long time, a detective for a long time, and has done a lot. But do you ever feel like, oh shit, like I crossed the line, now I'm going after the cops yourself? Do you
this last one I did.
Yeah.
This last one I did. I know my cops, especially when I post on Facebook, I know my cop friends are like, what's Danny doing? You know, I know they're doing that.
He's eating too much weed.
Here's the thing. This last video I did, I don't know if you saw it. There was a pregnant woman. She was an African-American. The cops, it was in Ohio. The cops pulled her over for stealing a bottle of liquor. And she was pregnant. She took a $10 bottle of liquor. They went up to the driver's side. She refused to get out of the car. Now listen, refusing to get out of the car, that's our media doing that to people. I believe our media is causing these things. They're telling people they don't have to listen to the police. They don't have to give their ID, which is total lie. You have to give your ID.
Wait a minute.
You have to give your ID.
See, I was under another impression too. So let me ask you. I'm driving down Hualapai. Dude pulls me over. I have to stop.
Yes.
Do I have to roll my window down when he tells me
Yes. All that's all BS that CNN's telling people. That's causing all the problems. You have to show your ID.
When do my rights come back, though, to like be able to roll up my window and not have like interaction with him when he's done with me?
Yeah, when he's done with you, and they'll say you're free to go, give your license up. But not giving your license, they're going to take you in. They don't know who you are. You're saying that you don't. You know, you have to give your ID. I don't know why people think they don't.
So is it legal? A cop pulls me over. I feel like this cop is sketch. I roll down the window. I feel like he's sketchy. Can I call 911?
Yeah, you can.
Cop?
Yeah,
because I don't like that guy.
No, you can do that. Reason. Yeah, okay. And I always tell my daughters, because there's people that do that, fake their cops.
Yeah.
I always tell my daughters, pull into a lighted area, this and that. Go real slow. Put your hazard lights on so the cop doesn't think you're running them. Outrunning them. Put your hazard lights on. Yeah. Go real slow. Pull into a lighted area. You know, I agree with that. But on this case, this girl only stole the $10 bottle of liquor.
She should have been in California.
She would have just got away with it. They caught,
like,
but in Ohio, right? Small town, small this. You know, this is a crime of the century.
Yeah.
So they come out there telling her she would refuse to get out of the car. Refuse. I don't have nothing. Refuse to get out of the car. The one cop puts himself in a bad situation and goes in the front of the car. So Dawn, honestly, all she did was saying, "Oh, I'm going to leave," and she threw it in the drive and just turned like this to turn away from him. He shot her and killed her.
See, that's
he shot through the windshield and killed this lady. And I did a video that they were wrong, and there was Republicans in there ripping me. She has a deadly weapon. She doesn't have a deadly weapon.
No.
Okay.
No. Get the hell away from the car.
The cop stood in front of the car. He put himself in a stupid position. That's the first thing. And you're going to shoot a girl over a $10 bottle of liquor? Yeah. That's craziness. Leave her go and get a warrant for her.
Yeah.
Get her the next day. It's a misdemeanor offense.
Yeah.
A misdemeanor offense. She's not going to jail.
Now what happens to that cop? I hope he's going to go away for a long
time. Well, he's under an investigation, but, you know, I don't know. I mean, believe it or not, a lot of people are sticking up for him.
That's insane.
A lot of people are sticking up for the cop. And that's where this is, and seriously, this is my last political point of it. Okay. I swear. We got to quit sticking for our favorite team. Okay? When I'm a Philadelphia Eagle fan, Sunday, no matter what the Eagles do wrong or say, I'm going to stick up for them because I love that team. But this is politics, Republicans, Democrats, right? Just because you're a Democrat, if they do something wrong, you got to call them out.
Absolutely.
You can't sit there and just root for your team. Like, you can't see what Gavin Newsom's doing and say, well, I'm a Democrat, I agree, steal everything, because Gavin Newsom said to. No, you got to call Gavin Newsom out. Okay? And the same thing with the Republicans. You got to call the police out when they're doing something wrong. And quit sticking for your favorite team. This is America. That's your favorite team. That's who your favorite team should be.
Woo! Did you hear that? This is America. That's your favorite team. Oh my God, can we slogan that? We need to get shirts.
Yes, that's your favorite
team. Yes, with flags. Awesome, that's your favorite team. I like it. Keep that in mind, guys. I like that. America.
I may be here next week. I may not.
Yeah, if we get canceled, we'll find you guys.
They'll be like, hey, we changed the date. See, it's Thursday, Danny. Show up Thursday.
Do you know that one time they gave us like a heads up like 2 weeks in advance because our production's like freaking awesome. They take really good care of us. So she told us like 2 weeks in advance and stuff that we didn't have a show. And of course me, I slipped it on the schedule. I didn't put it in. If I don't put it in my schedule right then and there, it's not happening. And I come to the door and I pull the door and like I don't see Danny's truck. I don't see production. I'm like, they effing canceled us and nobody told me. I didn't even think it was like we had an off day. My brain went to like, real quick, what did I say? Was it me or him? Like, I couldn't think. Like, was it that bad? And then it was probably you. And I was like, yeah, you probably got us canceled. Because I just respond back to your insanity. That's all I need. Listen, just to kind of delegate the psychology.
One last thing I want to bring up that you're going to love about being canceled. I love the show Big Brother.
Yes.
Like, I want to be on that show so bad because the old people never do good on the show, but I believe I could. I believe if I get on that show, I could do good, right? So I always think about it. My girlfriend says to me, you could never have a camera on you 24/7 and not be canceled. You'll be canceled. She said, there's no way you can have a camera on you 24/7 without you saying something that somebody's not going to like.
You know why I believe that? Never. I think Olivia is 100% accurate. And you know why? Right. Because even on commercial break, he's like, don't bring that up. If we bring that up, that's like a couple of things on commercial that like if we would have brought up, it would have been a wrap. So can you imagine 24/7? You'd have to hold that in and you don't have the ability.
Yes.
You know, you're not going to be able to not say it. So I agree.
One last thing. We have 30 seconds? All right. One last thing. Mitch McConnell.
I knew
for God's sake, folks, quit voting for these people. The one lady's 90. We wheel her in a wheelchair. Mitch McConnell stands there. He can't talk. He's frozen. And you people are still voting for these people. Stop it.
You good?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, stop rooting for your team. Root for Team America. Oh my God, you ever see Team America? Is that what it's called?
That was a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, with the little...
Yeah.
Yeah, Team America. It was good. All right.
Listen, we entertain.
Yeah. Or, yeah. We might, in the next couple of episodes, try to talk about crime, like we're supposed to be, crime and psychology, like we're supposed to be doing. We might, but, you know, it's better. We have our conversation. Once I say, how was your week? It tells me how it feels. I love it.
I'm going to Paris tonight, by the way.
You're going to, the Paris. Yeah, you're going to Paris. Okay. He's going to Paris.
And we're eating at that French restaurant
tonight. Oh, the one you love.
We're eating breakfast there tomorrow. They said the waffles are real good. You put like hazelnut syrup.
Maybe I'll meet you guys down there.
We're eating breakfast there tomorrow.
Are you playing tonight?
Of course.
Okay. Danny's going to be gambling tonight.
I'll be playing
if anyone wants to come
Bally's Poker Room. I'll be at
Bally's Poker Room.
I rule there, just so you know.
Yeah, that's your spot.
That's my spot.
Yeah.
Be scared if you play with me.
Yeah. I text you. I said, are you excited to be there? Don't worry, I won't try to beat you in poker.
And you probably would.
No.
You probably would.
I would.
You probably would.
Playing against you, I don't know. I
Listen,
would be like intimidated because I know you're good.
I wish the show was 2 hours today because I want to tell you something. Every time when I play poker, I hate somebody at the poker table.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to get his money. I hate that guy.
I'm like that.
And every time that guy takes my money, every time, he ends up taking all my money.
That's why you got to go in and be like, everyone's nice. Everyone's good. Do you start getting like...
I hate people.
Do you start... Yeah.
I start like, I hate this guy.
Fucking guy right there. You start getting delusional though, like you know the reason why you just lost is because that guy looked at that guy or something weird. Like, no, it's insane. Gambling's nuts. You're like, oh no, I was gonna win, and then that girl turned to the side and did that, and then I lost because
I get
that person showed up. Or
I have enemies at the poker table.
If someone walks behind you once or twice, you know that was their bad energy or their voodoo, whatever they just did. Gambling's a hell of a drug. Crazy.
And we're not.
All right, guys, have a fantastic week. Dawn Sullivan _ Instagram. Dream Tracks. Oh, actually, we need to change the name of Dream Tracks. It's no longer Academy. It's Dream Tracks Studios because we've been doing so much booking and casting and photography and so many good things. I'm ramping up to do the International Model and Talent Association again for January 8th to the 12th. If any of you guys are interested, we're doing the... improv show, The Palms. You need to get yourself there with me.
And I think I could improv.
I'm begging.
I've been practicing at home.
Have you?
Yes. Like my girlfriend will bring stuff up and I'll like make it into a skit. I'm trying to do that.
Show up on Monday nights, please. We're trying to get Danny on this show. Guys, so if you need to contact me, I'm super easy to contact. Just contact me. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the hate.
See you next week, maybe.
Danny, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh, at The Crime Solver. TikTok, at The Crime Solver. You'll be entertained.